Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Yasmin and I'm going to be talking you through a yoga sequence designed to soften muscle tension and try and get your flexibility and mobility increased. This session has a little bit of a focus on hips and glutes, but we'll work through the whole body. You don't need anything, just a mat if you've got one. Alternatively, we can do the sequence on the floor. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start seated. Seated, however, is comfortable for you. Maybe the legs are crossed or maybe the legs are long. If the legs are crossed, try to avoid one being stacked on top of the other. See if you can let the feet fall independently so they've both got their own space. And then let's just think about lengthening through the spine, relaxing the shoulders down the back. I'll just take the first few moments to check in with the head, the neck, the shoulders. And we'll start softly. So ear to shoulder, chin to chest. And then floating that all the way across to the other side, ear to shoulder and chin to chest. Let's do that a few times. Spine stays long, half circles, at your own pace, in your own time. And then eventually bringing the head all the way back to center, relaxing the shoulders down the back. From where you are, we're going to start to think about finding a bit more movement through the upper body, through the chest. So keep the hands resting on the knees regardless of where those legs are. We're going to think about inhaling as you round the spine away. So we're tucking the tailbone under, arching the back, chin hugs in towards the chest. And then we exhale, press the chest forward, broaden across the collarbone, lift the gaze. Inhale, round the spine, tuck the tail. And exhale, chest forward. Inhale, round the spine. Exhale, arch the back, lift the gaze. Last one, inhale to round. And exhale to arch. And then nice and slowly, bring your spine back to neutral. Find your balance on your sit bones, extend your arms forward. Now if you have got those legs crossed, we're just going to swap sides. So make a mental note of which one's in front and then bring yourselves up into a momentary balance. Balancing on the bum, lengthening through the spine, squeezing the thighs in towards your belly, and then we can cross the legs the opposite direction, relax the legs down, relax the hands down. Let's start to think about lengthening the side body. So we'll go arms wide. Let's flip your right palm to face the ceiling, take a deep breath in, reach up overhead. And then as you breathe out, we're going to glide across to the side. Now keep space on both sides of the body, so try your hardest not to lose that inside edge. And then let your gaze rise all the way up towards the top palm. Hold it there. And then nice and slow, sliding that bottom hand much closer towards you. We're going to drop top hand onto the side of the head, palm resting on the ear. And then we'll let the ear drop down towards the shoulder. And we'll pause there. Maybe close the eyes. Spine stays long, breath stays calm. And then just a very slight adjustment. Drop your chin towards your chest so the hand hugs further around the back of the head. And release. Hand relaxes down. Have a little check-in. And then let's even you out. We're going to do the same thing, second side. Flip the palm. Breathe in, reach up. Breathe out, take it to the side of the body. Feel long on both sides of the waist. Maybe the gaze is forward, maybe the gaze is all the way up towards that top palm. And then nice and slow, sliding the bottom hand much closer towards you, resting the hand on the side of the head, ear drops down towards the shoulder, back stays tall. Again, maybe the eyes close. And then adjust, drop the chin just slightly towards the chest. Hand hugging around the back. And release, hands down. Check in with the head, the neck, and then bring yourselves to center. Let's unravel those legs from underneath you. You can have the feet together or feet hip distance here. Let the spine be nice and long. So you're thinking about seated upright, sit bones down on the ground. We're going to go for a little bit of a twist, so the arms stretch out wide. Let's take a deep breath in, reach right hand overhead. And then as you breathe out, we're going to bring that arm all the way across to the outside edge of the thigh. Now it might be that this is enough of a twist for you. Think about really growing tall through the spine. If you wanted to add a bit more, slide that spare hand round behind. Option to shift your gaze towards the back shoulder. Keep thinking about length through the spine, grounded through those sit bones. One more breath. And then nice and slow, unravel, ease your way forward, adjust anything that needs adjusting, and we'll go for the second side. Breathing in as you sweep up, breathing out as you twist across. Long through the spine, adjust that spare hand, maybe it sweeps around behind, maybe the gaze shifts all the way over that back shoulder. And unravel, turn face forward. Okay, last one from here. We're going to take your hands and interlace them all the way underneath your thighs. Make a connection with your belly and your thigh here. See how close you can get the two. Really press the two towards each other. And then we're going to let the head drop down in between the knees or in between the shins. Relaxing through the spine, stretching out the lower back as you pause here in a fold. And we're going to take just a few breaths here, so allowing your body to relax. And then if it feels okay for you, we're going to add a hamstring stretch. So we start to think about flexing through the feet and gliding those heels forward. Now you decide how far they glide. I want you to maintain belly on thigh contact. So it really depends on how tight those hamstrings are here. This is a really nice stretch for you to pause in. Come to your limit and rest there. So it might be that the knees are still quite bent, or it might be that your hamstrings are fairly warm already today and they're happier to go much closer towards the ground. Either variation is good. Head relaxed, spine curled. Pausing there. Let's go 2-3 more breaths. Keep thinking about those feet flexing. Heels press away. Toes pull towards you. Belly resting on the thighs. Head heavy. And then gently release. Relax the hands. Lift your gaze. And we'll come all the way down onto our back. Draw those heels in towards your belly. Float your way down, spine flat to the floor. And then let's draw some circles, knees hugging in, softening that lower back on the ground. Change direction, same thing, other way. And then coming all the way back to still, and we'll just start to open up the hips now. Taking knees nice and wide, create a circular motion as the knees singularly circle. And then thinking about coming all the way back to still. Hands transition to backs of thighs, and we'll start to rock up to a seat. Let's press, lift, and we'll rock a couple of times. Build up some momentum, find your balance on your sit bones, and then eventually cross those legs, come all the way over the top. Set yourselves up for all fours. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Tops of the feet can relax down onto the ground. Inhale, try round your spine up towards the ceiling, arch the upper back. And then exhale, elbow soft, chest forward. Inhale, round the spine, arching all the way up. And exhale, other way, elbow soft, chest lift. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come all the way back to straight. Pull the belly in, tuck the toes under, and then let's just hover those knees gently above the ground. So you're pressing through the palms, stretching out across the shoulder blades here. Let those knees hover, keep the back nice and straight, and then from where you are, lift the hips high, press the belly back, and start to pad through the heels. Draw one heel down, and then the other. And then eventually drawing down through both feet. Let's go feet hip distance, knees soft. Gaze goes forward. Inhale, step or hop, feet come to the hands. Exhale, forward fold. Relax the head, fully soften. Maybe there's more bend in the knees to find a connection, belly on thigh. And just gently turn that head from side to side. And then eventually, head comes all the way back to center, knees soften, start to uncurl, bring yourselves all the way up to a stand. And then when you're up, check in, head, neck, shoulders. And then using palms to the heart, spine nice and long. Okay, so if you have a yoga mat, come towards the top of the mat. Let's go soles of the feet down to the ground, spine nice and tall. Notice your posture here. If you tend to arch, see if you can find a more neutral, straight line. Take a breath in. And then take a breath out, just soften the shoulders down. Okay, here we go. Breathing in, sweeping hands up. We're going to reach nice and high. Breathing out, forward fold. Knees soften as you float down. Inhaling, halfway lift. We're going to lengthen the back. See if you can find a straight line from your hips to your head. Exhale, knees soften, forward fold. Let's try that whole thing again. Inhale, sweep up, lift, lengthen, look towards the ceiling. Exhale, fold, knees soft as you float down. Inhale, legs lengthen, straighten the spine, look forward. Exhale, soften, fold, relax down. Now this time, palms ground, knees soft. Inhale, step or hop, take it to plank. And then as you exhale, lower the knees down. We're going to come all the way onto your belly. You can have toes tucked or untucked. Swing the creases of the elbows forward. Keep the back straight here, so try to avoid the hips hitting the ground before everything else. And we take our time lowering down. Super slow, with control. Back stays nice and long. When you reach the ground, give your feet some space. Let's go hip distance. And we're going to find a back bend, pressing through the palms. Inhale, lift your chest. You decide how high. Exhale, soften, lower down. Now find support from the feet, from the pelvis. Inhale, lift the chest. Maybe less hands required here. Exhale, lower down. Third and final. Inhale, rising up. Bring the hands with you. Extend those arms out behind. Bring the feet with you. Exhale, hold it there. Squeeze through the glutes. Lift through the chest. Find that height. Flying Salabhasana. One more breath. And then nice and slow. Float the hands down underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, downward dog. Lift all the way up and back. Now when you get there, soften the knees. Let's pad through the heels, belly pressing back towards the thighs. And then let's go for a little bit of a twist. So we stay up on the balls of the feet, we bend the knees deeply, swivel the toes to the right, let the bum drop to the left, and then even out. Same thing, second side, swivel toes, twist, let the bum drop and rotate all the way back to center. Let's find a bit of a flow here. Inhale, roll to plank, wrists and shoulders stack. Exhale, press the hips high, draw the heels down. Inhale, float forwards, nice and long through the body. Exhale, hips high, heels down. Last one, inhale, float forwards, find plank. Now hold it there. Exhale, press your heels away, engage the backs of the legs, pull the belly in. Press the earth away from you so you stretch out across the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then nice and slow, lift the hips high. Adjust the heels here. Let's draw them down towards the ground. And then notice your posture. So if your downward dog feels too long, too short, now is the perfect time to adjust. We're going to inhale, right leg sweeps nice and high. Look forward. Exhale, runner's lunge. Float that foot all the way down in between the hands. Now let's try and get your right ankle and your right knee in one straight line, and we get that left heel actively pressing out behind. Long through the back, sinking into those legs, nice strong stretch, maybe releasing hands from the ground. Slow your breath, pausing here. Hands are optional, you're welcome to keep the palms grounded. And then from where you are, we're going to float that left knee down to the ground and then lift your chest. Now I like my toes tucked for this, but you can do it tucked or untucked. And I want you to notice the hips here. We're going to try and draw the tailbone down towards the ground so that you create a nice long line through the body. We're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling and then think about sinking forward just a tiny touch. Trying here to stretch out the quad, the hip flexor on that left hand side. Keep the tailbone drawn under. Spine long, maybe gazing up in between the hands. And then nice and slow, float the palms down, let them come to the inside edge, and we're going to shuffle your right foot a little bit wider. Let the pelvis now drop forward more. You can keep the toes tucked or untucked, and the pelvis drops down towards the ground. This is called lizard pose. That right foot is out wide. Option is there for those of you that want to take it deeper to sink lower, coming down, bending through the elbows, spine stays tall, maybe even coming all the way onto your forearms. Two more breaths. And then nice and slow, work your way back up onto your palms. We're going to think about straightening out that front leg, so you might want to ease the hands back, flex through the foot. We're going to keep it out to the edge. I want you to find a hamstring stretch now, so really pulling toes back towards you, heel pressing away, and we're going to pause here. So it might be that this is enough of the stretch for you. If you wanted to make this stretch stronger, totally optional. The left hand can reach down to the ground, and the right hand can extend it all the way up towards the ceiling. And it's just going to change your stretch very slightly. Pause and breathe. Back is nice and long, arms are straight. And then float down. Palm all the way to the ground. Release that leg. Let's try lift the heel, hover it above the ground, sweep it round, and then lower. Hips wiggle from side to side. Shake out any tension, any tightness. And then we're going to even you out. We tap the toes, we lift the hips, find downward dog. Inhale, left leg nice and high, look forward. Exhale, runner's lunge. Float that foot all the way down in between the hands. Lengthen the spine. Left ankle, left knee stacked. Right heel presses away. Spine is long. Maybe you remove the arms. Now see how straight you can get that back leg. Quite often we'll bend it so the back leg is less active. I want you to really press. Straight through the knee, pressing through the heel. Flat back, one more breath. And then nice and slow, with hands or without, we float the back knee down. With toes tucked or untucked, we lift the chest. Now same thing here, thinking about the hips, we're going to try and draw the pelvis down. Spine is long, arms lift, gaze can go up. Option to sink, just a tiny bit. Pause and hold. Hold it there as you breathe. And then nice and slow, flow those hands down. Hands are going to come to the inside edge, and we let that left foot take it out just a tiny bit further. Maybe the hips drop further forward, maybe the back toes untuck, and we come into our variation of lizard. Option to soften through the elbows to make this stronger. Option to come all the way down onto the forearms. Wherever you are, start to slow the breath. Thinking about really relaxing to open up that left hip, left glute. And then nice and slow, coming back up onto the palms. We're going to straighten that left leg now. So maybe you walk the hands back, we flex through the foot. Really think about the toes pulling towards you, the heel pressing away. That's going to give you a nice stretch along the back of the leg. Maybe this is enough for you, maybe in fact you need to be higher. If you wanted more, right hand down, left hand lifts. Pause and breathe, hold it there. And release, float the hand down. Lift the heel, try hover it off the ground, sweep it round, and then float down. Give those hips a wiggle, side to side. And then let's find ourselves a pigeon. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, pelvis drops forward just a touch. Slide your right knee towards your right wrist, and then we'll let that right foot wriggle across the chest. Now you decide the angle in that front leg. So the shorter the angle, the softer the stretch. So if you had the leg almost straightish, that would be much softer. Whereas if you have a deeper angle, that's going to be much stronger. Slide the left leg back. Try to keep your hips nice and even here, and then work your way down. Maybe think about coming onto your forearms. Maybe relaxing even lower. Let the belly rest down over the shin. Let the breath start to calm here. You decide how low to go, no pressure, listen to your body. Adjust as much as you need. Let's go 2 more breaths. And then nice and slow, let's get you evened out. Work your way up, release, and we'll swap sides. This time left knee, left wrist. You decide the angle, it might be different on this side. Slide that right leg back. Try your hardest to keep those hips nice and even so we avoid sinking to one side. And then work it down. Come on to forearms maybe. Maybe rest the head, no pressure. Slow the breath right down, hold it there. And then nice and slowly, easing your way back up. We're going to swivel the legs forward. Similarly to our last session, we're going to go legs wide. Let's stretch in with the inner thighs. So you decide how wide enough is. And we're going to really flex through the feet. Long through the spine, grounded down through the pelvis. You can have the hands behind you if you struggle to tip forward, or like we did before, you can slide a block underneath the hips. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, the belly folds forward. The back stays straight. No, it really doesn't matter how far you fold as long as you start to feel a stretch on the inner thigh. And we're going to pause it there. Use the support for the hands wherever you need them. So if you find that forward is more comfortable, more practical, feel free to go there. If you prefer to press to get yourself more fold, then stick with the hands out behind. 2 more breaths. And then nice and slow, rising up, legs together. And we're going to try and do a double pigeon. Now this is a tricky posture, so I'm going to give it to you in a few different options. Let's stick with the right leg going first. So we'll keep the left leg long, and we're going to think about taking your right all the way over the top, and you want to try and get the ankle past so that it doesn't dig into the thigh. Now this is option 1. This might be your pose, and you might think about folding forward. Option 2 is to take the hands behind, let that second leg curl under so that you think about stacking heel and knee, knee and heel. This is a double pigeon. So one or the other, either is good. We'll do it twice. Spine is tall. Same thing with the hands. You could have the hands out behind, or you could have them forward. You're trying to here feel a stretch on that right side, on the outside edge of the hip, right in the glute, and then the spine is nice and tall. Take a breath in, and to increase the stretch, we fold forward as you breathe out. It might be that already you've got enough of a stretch, in which case no need to go anywhere. The more you fold, the stronger the stretch will be. Giving your body just a little bit of time here. And then nice and slow, ease your way back up, and we'll even you out. Legs go long, shake it out, and then we'll do the same thing on the second side. So now it's the right leg that's staying long, the left foot that's opening. Maybe this is as far as you go. Try to get that ankle all the way past so it doesn't dig into the thigh, and the goal is that that knee falls down rather than up towards the ceiling. We're trying to press the hip open. Spine is long, option to stay here and fold, option to take it stronger by removing the hands and then unraveling the legs so that you can stack heel and knee, knee and heel. Spine is long, breath in, and then we fold, breath out. You decide how far to go. You decide where the hands rest. Maybe the spine curls and the head drops. Pause it there, take just a couple more breaths. And then nice and slow, start to ease your chest up. Release your legs, shake it out, and we'll start to think about coming all the way down to the ground. Just a final stretch for you now on your back, so we'll come into a twist. So make sure you've got space, lower yourselves down, take those arms out nice and wide. Cross your right leg over the top of your left, and we'll squeeze the thighs towards each other, hugging the knees in, and then let the knees fall across to the left. Shift your gaze to the right. Think about grounding through the shoulders. Think about slowing down the breath. And then nice and gently, head rises all the way to center. Come back unhook, rehook. Let's take the left on top. Squeeze the thighs towards each other, both knees fall across to the right. Shoulders ground, maybe the gaze turns to the left. And then nice and slowly, head comes all the way back to center. Unhook your legs. Step your feet as wide as your mat, let your knees fall in. Press your lower back into the ground, close the eyes, soften any tension, any tightness. And for just the next few moments, we'll focus on breathing in nice and slowly all the way up to the top of the chest. And breathing out and down towards the bottom of the belly. Breathing in and up towards top of chest. And out and down. Last one, breathing in and up. And out and down. And then nice and slow, turn all the way over onto your right hand side. Bring yourselves up to a seated posture. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Have a lovely day. Namaste.